Hi guys, welcome to GEM. My name is Brenda Kawira and I'm a special needs educator.
Gideon Mawere, special needs educator.
Mercy Muthoni, a health counseling psychologist.
And together we welcome you to GEM. So we are going to be having a Q&A for our first session so that you get to know us.
Yeah, and we get also to know them because they're going to comment, subscribe, and click that button for notification.
Yeah, very important. What is GEM?
That's a very, very nice question. Very
It has
interesting.
3 letters, GEM.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it took us about 2 weeks. Was it 2 weeks or so to come up with that name?
Yeah, funny enough, it's our initials. The GEM part, the G, the E, and the M. So our initials. You'll find out soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you were introducing yourself, I think you were able to capture Gideon. So G for Gideon, M for Mercy.
Yeah.
So you might be wondering the E, because I did not introduce myself with an E, but that is from my surname, Iringo. Yeah. So now it forms GEM.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the early intervention center, very important because that's basically what we're here to tell you and to discuss about. So we are GEM Early Intervention Center.
Gideon.
Yeah.
The mastermind. The brains.
So, it was a very beautiful afternoon, one of the fine afternoons. And I was just thinking to myself, I've been doing this. I've been a special needs teacher, I've been in assessments, a practicing assessor for that matter, assessing children with special needs and disabilities. And I think for my experience, children with traditional disabilities, let me use that term, that is visual impairments, physical impairments, hearing impairments, are well covered. What do I mean? They have support, continuous support from the government, from stakeholders. And then there are these children with silent, let me use this term for our viewers, silent disabilities. So that will be a very new term, maybe for some of us. Dyslexia. It's just a reading disability, being unable to read or maybe comprehend and write. They don't get much attention compared to the children with traditional disabilities. So I was thinking to myself, these children can also get tailored support because there's so much going on with other areas of special needs. Autism is a very good example today. Everyone talks about autism, but no one talks about learning disabilities. So Brenda is my good friend, and I told her, I think I'm going to set up the first reading clinic. And that's how the idea was born.
Yeah. I remember you coming to me and you're like, who is going to take care of these kids? Who is going to be there for them? Because yes, you might be a victim.
Yeah.
An example.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I saw it like a good idea because yes, you might be having dyslexia or any form of learning difficulties or disability, and you don't know, and people might be mocking you because of that.
Yeah.
And it's not your fault at the end of the day. Yeah, so I think I bought it and I saw it as a really good thing to support the society and to also reduce things like stigma. Yeah, and that's when I also now went to Mercy and I told her about the idea. So it was like a chain.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brenda came to me and at first I was a bit skeptical about the idea, but we had the same goals for GEM, and we decided why not. And finally, we became the three of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been a journey. GEM was formed sometime last year, 2025, in June,
We're in
June 16th. That's when we officially registered GEM
That's
as
when
a
we gave
limited
birth
company.
to it.
Yeah.
And it's still growing. So it's a good baby.
Yeah, we're so proud of where we are right now.
And for the great part, we've been doing a lot of consultancy work with parents, with schools, with stakeholders, even the government to some extension. And we want to continue in that spirit with that same format going forward. And we are calling upon you to join us, journey together, and make changes, build children, grow them, and make them realize their potentials. Yeah, so that's a good question. Again, I've already mentioned this. In my work, I deal with children, I handle children, I do a lot of evaluations, and I also consult a lot with teachers. So many teachers don't know about learning disabilities. They're overwhelmed. They don't. Some do know, but again, they can do so much. So to answer that question, yes, it was during those moments that I realized, oh, maybe we can empower teachers, we can empower students, we can empower the community to make the community learn about learning disabilities and the support strategies that are out there. And with that, I met Brenda, shared with her my ideas, and here we are talking about GEM.
Yeah, and also I think we didn't mention that we are also assessors, qualified assessors, and in our field there are many gaps, especially when parents come to you. They want answers, the why, the how, the where. So we know the how and we know the why, but we don't know after that what next for my child. So I think that is also what inspired us to now start GEM, and that is something. It's an experience that when a parent comes to you and they're really crying, you're like, how am I supposed to help these parents? Yeah, so that was the big question.
Yeah, and we will use this platform to inform parents, to talk to parents, share with them the strategies that are out there to support their children at home and again in school.
Yeah, and also educate them about special needs and everything in between.
Yeah, so there are several gaps. Like in assessments, there are gaps. We still don't have quality standardized tools to assess children because the only way you're gonna support a child is by running an assessment, understanding their strengths, understanding their areas of concern. But you can only do that with quality assessment tools. So I think that's a huge challenge today. And the assessment tools that are out there, the public, the common mwananchi cannot afford for that matter. The ones that are out there are way expensive. And it's our belief, our hope that someday we might have good tools that can serve common mwananchi, can serve the common Kenyan child, irrespective of their socioeconomic status.
Yeah, I think another gap is sensitization. People don't understand these disabilities. Utapata mzazi anakuambia huyu ni mtoto wangu ni mjinga, hata nimejaribu kumpeleka hadi tuition lakini hashiki. So I think that is also something that we saw and we are trying to work something around it. Yeah.
Yeah, and we again use this platform to sensitize, to create awareness about special needs and disabilities.
Yeah, so as you're watching, just I'm reminding you to subscribe and also hit the notification bell so that every time we are having another video, you will be the first one to see it. Yeah, of course. I think in our day-to-day life, interacting with these kids, there's so much you interact with, and there's so much that gives you a question to think about every day, like the one I had said previously. What next for this child? As a parent, I can imagine, I put myself in the parent's shoes every day, and I'm like, what if I was the parent? What will be going on in my mind? So I think working with these kids with special needs and working especially with caregivers and parents, you can see the frustration. You can see, yes, they are very positive and they really want to help their children, but you can see the sign of defeat when a parent is not seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. Because, of course, as parents, you want the best for your child, but now your child has this disability. So, what does this disability mean for my child? Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Brenda. Totally agree with her.
I think for me, it was a bit personal. I felt these parents are helpless and hopeless, and they don't have people who listen to them. So just being there and allowing the parents to express themselves, they feel that you don't listen to just give answers. You listen to understand what they're going through. You empathize with them. You try and fit into their situation, and that's how you can come up with the kind of support now that Jem is giving out. Wow. Okay. Pesa, guys. Eh? Finances. What do you say, Brenda?
Yeah, we didn't know where to start. Let's just say that. Because when Gideon came to me, actually, I think he wanted more of a partnership the first time he came. And I told him, this is a very nice idea. I ran the idea with some people. But at the end of the day, yes, people might not understand your end goal. So they will not give you the support you need at the end of the day. And yeah, I think finances was one of the biggest question and challenge. Yeah, and also after that, then where do we set up? Unakumbuka tukitafuta shamba?
Yeah, we were that ambitious, Gideon. Ati kuna kaploti nimeona mahali, tuharakishe twende tukaone.
Maguta.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So we have really tarmacked with Jem. And then I also remember at one day Gideon alilala KRA the whole day.
Yeah, it was not that good experience for me. Yeah, so those are some of the challenges we faced with the authorities. You have to get your act together, have the relevant administrative things that is with the authorities, be it KRA. Yeah, like KRA wanted us to pay taxes from 2023, and Jem was barely a week old. That email from KRA was...
It was disturbing, considering it was our first time and our first experience.
Yeah, so I had to go to KRA and camp there all day. But I'm glad we are here. That issue was resolved.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we are very glad to pay our taxes as Kenyans. We are very patriotic.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, and I also, on the location,
Yeah.
I remember there was actually a time I had gotten a client, but I was not in a position to assess the child. So I referred the child to Gideon. You remember that time?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we didn't have an office, and the parent was really persistent on, I want to come and visit you at the office. So things went by, and at the end of the day, we lost the client. So, but I'm happy to say that right now, God has blessed us. We now have a location. It's at Kiambu Road, along Kugeria Road. So when you get there, you can have your child assessed there. You will meet us there, and we're also planning on offering therapies to children and doing trainings for caregivers and the parents. So karibuni sana.
Yeah, and that message is just to tell you that sometimes you don't need to have everything figured out to start out. You just need each other. And so far, tulianza with big ambitions, no money, but we started. That's what that counts, and we are here today. And we cannot regret it, actually. We are doing very well.
Yeah.
Ni God.
Killer time.
Let me go first. Yeah, so I think with my background in special education, I'm very capable and competent to do the work I'm currently doing, working with children with special needs and disabilities. I'm also a trained assessor in functional and educational assessment. So that gives me the authority, or rather the latitude, to practice special education, including assessments and interventions. When you look at us, we might look young, but we are not that young professionally. We have massive experience with different entities. Brenda had mentioned that we are assessors. We've worked for the government before. Some of us still work for the government. And now we are venturing into private practice. We've amassed a lot of experiences out there to support children with special needs. So for me, I think the stage is set, and I'll continue with the good work of supporting children with special needs and disabilities.
Yeah, sure.
I think for me, with my background of health and also psychology, has been a really big impact in just landing me into the area of special needs. I'm an equally licensed and registered psychologist, and I'm also a clinical assessor. So the clinical bit of it, I'm well acquainted to it. So the neurological conditions where we say the silent what do you call it?
Disabilities.
Disabilities.
Yeah,
yes.
there's nothing like silent disability. It's just a term I've coined for our viewers.
Yeah,
They are silent because let me
can't
just
see
interrupt
them.
you. You can't see a child who has dyslexia.
Yes.
Not until you start working with them, and then you realize they cannot read at grade level. And when you investigate why, you realize everything has been set. They started school at the right age. They've progressed through the grades, but they still can't read because of their disability, reading disability. So that's why I call it silent, because you only get to see it when the child is working, the child is reading, the child is doing mathematics, the child is doing academic work.
Yeah, so that one in a clinical setup, it's called a neurological condition. It's affecting the brain, and it's due to maybe the developmental issues and other aspects. So, yeah, as I was training in that field, I get to also do a lot with the vulnerable community, and persons with disability are part of the people who are vulnerable in our society. And that really sparked my interest, and I saw that I was on the right career path, and that's how I ended up now venturing into just doing disability assessments and offering support to the caregivers and families, doing interventions for them, early interventions. Yeah, I think my career has really played a very big role into special needs.
It has, as you've heard, we are like a walking full package, because, like I said, we are assessors. So there is the education part of being an assessor and the medical bit of being an assessor. So I think we are a walking full package. Yeah.
Assessment. I think assessment is very key because unless you get to assess, it's one of our core values is to do assessment for the learners and support them. Yeah, I think I would say that.
Yeah, so that's true. Assessment is a key pillar. When we are talking about our philosophy, we also believe in making small steps, those small leaps, because they guarantee big possibilities. So that has been our framework since last year when we started. Small steps, we encourage our parents, the children we are working with, to celebrate the small wins they are having in their journey, in their intervention journey. And we also believe in early intervention. Yeah, we are so passionate about early intervention. So when you look at our framework, our philosophy, it's all about early intervention, making small steps towards big possibilities.
Yeah, so what I can just add on that, maybe you might be asking yourself, what is assessment every time we mention that? So basically, what we mean by that is just we want to get to know you and your child better. So you have to gather the correct information or the right information that will lead us to know what or how can we help you and your child in order now to be at a better place. So basically, when you hear us talking about assessment, it's just us getting to know you so that we may be able to know how to help you.
Yeah, and sometimes it gets boring because a parent will come to you and they're like, "You gonna ask me about my son again? I've done this in the hospital. I've been asked this question in church, everywhere. Why? Why now?" But again, we normally calm them down and tell them assessment is all about gathering information. Yeah, the
Relevant
name
information.
and personal data, that's for our own good so that we are able to profile the child. But the most important thing, the reason why we gather that information is to map out the strengths of this individual child or the person we are assessing, and also understand their areas of need, the areas of concern they are having. And from there, we are able to tailor a program, an intervention program for them with regards to their education and training.
Why is it important? It's very important, actually. Yeah, because I can say, if you, from our experience, or I can start from my own experience. For the children that we have assessed and started intervening from an early age, that is giving the right therapies, correct right school placement, and also having the right activities done at home, you find that the child is able to improve at a very up to around 80%. Let me give it that rate. And compared to now a child who has been kept at home, nothing is happening up to the age of around teenagehood. Now you'll find that this child will have a low rate or improvement rate compared to this young child who has started intervention at a very young age. Maybe we can say from even as early as 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah, so let me just jump into that conversation. And I'll use a very good analogy from the medical space. But before that, there is something called the brain is very neuroplastic, meaning it's able to change, it's able to adapt, it's able to grow and develop. And that can only happen if it's been stimulated.
Very true.
From the onset. It means the intervention should be onset at a very early stage. Now, on to my analogy. Let me use cancer. As an example, I'm not saying anyone is catching cancer here, but I'm just using cancer for our own understanding about early intervention. So, at what stage? Let's say cancer come in stages. So it can be stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and sometimes stage 4.
Yeah.
When you get to stage 4, medical intervention becomes hard.
Hard, yeah.
But if that cancer has been caught at a very
Early
for much
stage.
at a very early stage, then the doctors are able to treat it, to cure it, if that's a possibility. So the same also happens with children who have special needs and disabilities. If early intervention is done at a very early stage of their growth and development, then the outcome is always good.
Yeah.
The outcome will always be good. Unlike when intervention is delayed, or maybe it's being done at an age when the child has matured or something, then it does not give the child's brain, or maybe whatever the child is facing, to the child to come out of that, or rather to make improvements. So so early intervention is very important. It must be done early, as the word states.
I think I agree with you, Gideon, and especially in the medical field, early intervention for any person or any client is very key. And now for us, children with special needs, you see, this issue is happening during their developmental stages. So if a parent notices something that is off, you feel that your child is not developing as per maybe other children. If you're a first-time mom, you're noticing delays as you go for your clinics, it is good to seek early interventions, because developmental, that means if the child is developing and you're not intervening at an early stage, then when we meet you at a later stage, the high possibility of just us seeing results which are a bar higher compared to when the child was still young would be a chance of 50-50.
Yeah. And another thing, now that I've mentioned the reading disabilities, research shows that if a child is at risk for any reading disability, for that matter, and intervention is done before grade 1, or when the child is in grade 1, chances of this child overcoming, or rather making progress, is way good compared to when maybe intervention has been done at grade 4. Yeah, when intervention has been done at that grade, research shows that it will be 4 times difficult compared to a child who is in grade 1. 4 times difficult to intervene. So we are calling for parents to embrace early intervention, because that's the only way they'll be able to support their children.
Yeah, and what does this mean? Just like Mercy has said, once you suspect, that is the first thing once you suspect your child might be having any issue, take the step. Decide, take your child to a professional, let your child be assessed, and then just get rid of that suspicion. Acho uambiwe your child is okay, but after you've acted on the suspicion. Yeah. So how we do our assessments, or how we approach our assessments, basically, like we said, we have to gather the right information from you as the guardian or you as the parent, in order to understand your child and to also understand the environment they have grown in, and also the current environment they are in. So we mostly approach it through interviews, the assessments, and we encourage during the assessment, we also advise the parents or the caregiver, and we also give options, or we can advise on what activities you can do with your child at home. And also we also do advice in terms of schools, where or which school should you place your child in.
Yeah, so it also depends with the situation the child is in. So if it's a school-going child, we also do school observation. We'll go and observe the child
in school.
If we are assessing a toddler for that issue, we heavily rely on the information we are getting from the parents. Brenda has mentioned interview, so we'll interview everyone who is interacting with the child, with this child, the parents, the caregivers, and any other significant person working with this child at that moment. If it's a college-going individual, we also meet them where they are. So it means we'll also have to observe them in their training facility. And from there, we are able to gather enough information, and that information will inform our decisions. Yeah.
Yeah, and we also offer reviews, which is very key. It really gives us the progress of how the individual is doing, and it helps us to see the success and the milestones and the steps that we have made. So,
Yeah, because remember, our main aim is to gather as much as information as we can for us to help you and your child.
yeah. So once you start with GEM, we follow you until maybe we hand you over to maybe other support system. Yeah, so that's key.
The biggest one, love.
Yeah, you need to love these kids. You need to.
Actually, I think the main ones are love and patience. Yeah, you really have to be patient in this field. You really need to love the kids, love yourself and the children and the parents, no matter as much as they can. Sometimes we tunakipitianga.
Yeah.
Unaweza pigwa, uongeleshwe vibaya, but you just need to know why you're there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think empathy really keeps us in check, because as Brenda is saying, we go through a lot. You'll find parents who have really gone through hard time through the process before finding the right place or the right interventions. And when they come to you, they're very frustrated and they lash on you. They want results there and there. So empathy, empathizing, understanding that kuna mahali huu mzazi ametoka and it has not been easy. So being kind also to them in how you talk to them, in how you approach and how you care for their children. It's very important.
Yeah, so there are so many values that guide our work. So we also believe in confidentiality.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Very key.
Very key in our business.
Considering mali tumetoka, I think we have big dreams. And actually our motto is small steps, big possibilities. So just from our motto, you can tell that we are very ambitious.
Yeah.
5 years from now, where do you see us, Gideon?
So by the 5th year, my expectation would be to have served thousands and thousands of children and families, impacting them positively through behavior change, positive behavior change, and growth. I'm seeing growth. I'm seeing us doing amazingly well, not just with the Nairobi community that we are currently working with, but broadening our horizon and maybe spreading our gospel to other counties in Kenya, and who knows,
Probably even
East
outside
Africa.
Kenya,
Yes, that's where we are headed to, by the way. Yeah, we believe that by the end of 5 years, this information will have reached thousands and thousands and millions of people, because that is why we are here. We are here to educate you, we are here to inform you, we're here to answer your questions, we're here to support you, and we're here to work together as a community. Yeah, so the awareness is going to be top notch by the end of 5 years.
I think with that we can start with the current challenges that we at hand. The society is not, yes, we have started to understand these disabilities, but we are yet to embrace them as we should. So we are yet to feel the persons with disabilities feel like they are part of us. We look at them with a different eye. Let me use that term. We look at them like, we over empathize with them. You try to, but they just want to be treated like any other person. And I think inclusion, that is something that we really aim to achieve as GEM, and avoid things like discrimination and stigma. Yes, don't talk badly to a parent or maybe you're a bad parent just because their child is behaving differently without understanding why they're even in that situation. That might have been you, you know. So I think that is what we are really, really trying to achieve as GEM.
Number one, it cannot work in isolation. We need to support each other. As a parent, don't bring your child to the intervention setting, and now you take a back seat and you're like, you guys are going to do it. No,
Yeah.
this thing cannot work in
You fold your
isolation. We
arms.
need the family, we need the teachers, we need the medical practitioners. You need to have a good grounded support system
Yeah.
to be able to reach those goals.
And that even includes the house managers, the watchmen.
Yes.
Yeah, they might look irrelevant, but they play a very big role.
Yeah,
that's
anyone working with a child.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also very important for our viewers and parents, for that matter, to embrace consistency. Intervention won't be successful if there is no consistency. So, whatever program the child is in or has been placed on, ensure that you are adhering to every bit that was recommended to that child. That's the only way the child will make improvements.
Yeah, very true. And I think to add on that, the biggest and the hardest one, acceptance.
Yes.
It's very tough. The journey is not easy. It's not easy to just wake up and uambiwe your child is different and you're like, yes. So as much as it might be hard, just find it in you to accept that this is the situation I'm in right now. And there's no way around it apart from me accepting and looking for the better way or the way forward for my child. And that is the only way you can make your child to be dependent at the end of the day. Because I think that is the dream of every parent. That one day, one time, my child will be independent and they will just be their own person. And so it starts with acceptance.
And even though acceptance is gradual because it doesn't happen just mara moja, take key notes of the progress that your child is making. And you as a parent, the fact that you have identified, it's part of acceptance.
Yeah.
Identifying and allowing another party to come into your life and give you that support. Listening to this information and not just scrolling. Yeah. So it is very important.
Yeah, allow yourself to be vulnerable as a parent and a caregiver. And as GEM, I think we are well equipped to give you that space to be vulnerable, and we accept you as you are. So it doesn't matter where you're coming from or how you are, just allow yourself to be vulnerable.
Yeah, I think what Brenda said is very important because it doesn't mean you are a bad parent or a weak parent. It only means that you're human.
Yeah.
And anyone can go through this. This can happen to anyone. We are all candidates of disability. Tunaweza toka hapa sahi nje and the
Something
next
happened,
thing.
yeah.
So just know that you are not alone. But we also have heard of successful stories. So acceptance is key. Then soon you'll start seeing the successful stories, even in your child.
You will be part of the successful story.
True.
Subscribing and asking questions through the comments, reaching out to us. We are going to leave our phone numbers.
Yeah.
And you can reach us. We're also going to leave the GEM email. So you can reach out to us and spread the word, share the video, let everyone that you know reach the message afikiwe na hiyo habari.
Yeah. So one way the community can help our cause, book an appointment with us. Let's have that conversation. Let's consult together and we'll be able to share and recommend strategies you can use at home to support your child, strategies the child can use to benefit his education journey. So, again, we will give you our phone numbers, our email, book an appointment with us, and let's do this together.
Yeah, and come to our trainings. We usually have trainings, and once we post them in our pages. Kindly come to our trainings, get to learn a lot, get to network with other parents, get to network with peer groups. It will be very key. So find us, look for us. We are here to help. We are here to support your team. If you're a director somewhere and you're having a school, we are here to train your teachers on how to handle learners. If you're a church somewhere and you're watching this, we can come equip your members on how to understand special needs. Do you know, you guys, that even in Sunday schools, we need to have Sunday schools zenye ziko na watoto wa special needs pia
Yeah.
kando. Yeah, so we can train you on that. We can support us, guys, support us. Click on that YouTube channel link, subscribe.
Share. So that is the end of our video. We hope that you have enjoyed, and we hope to see you soon. And kindly don't forget to comment, subscribe, and share. And a big shout out to Restoration Studio. They've really accommodated us. You can see the beautiful space that you're in. Yeah, all thanks to Restoration Studios. And see you in the next video.
Yeah, we'll also leave their information down below so that you can book with them. They really have a nice space. They have a lot of programs that they have for you guys. Come record with them. Come have spend time here with your team. They have a very, very nice and big studio here. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah,
God
so
bless.
until next time, bye.
Ciao.
See you.